Through the wire winds, the shadows are calling. Frost on my breath as the night ignites. Ice in my veins, but my fire is burning. I ride the storm under silver lights. Witches brew, the night won't break us. Snow can't hide the path we take. Hear the howl, the storm can shake us, but we stand strong, we will not quake. Frozen skies and the moonlight's whisper. Magic flows through the winter air. Every step leaves a mark in the blizzard. Every spell sparks a brilliant flare. Witches brew, the night won't break us. Snow can't hide the path we take. Hear the howl, the storm can shake us, but we stand strong, we will not quake. Ice and amber, we'll remember. Cold forever, stand as one, we fall as never. Almost never. Witches brew, the night won't break us. Snow can't hide the path we take. Hear the howl, the storm can shake us, but we stand strong, we will not quake. Fade on repeat. Stand strong over the snowstorm. When we long and our love fell, we will not, but we stand strong over snowstorm, over snowstorm, over snowstorm.
And what's up, my Witches Brew family? We are here talking another show, another conversation. I hope everybody's ready to deep dive into some Alice in Borderland. Tonight, we're going to talk about the first 2 episodes, and then we'll continue on another couple of streams until we get through all of the episodes. And then maybe we'll do some, fun things. We'll rank the games. I'll talk about some of the differences between the manga and the show and tell you guys a little bit about the manga after, everybody watches all the episodes, and we'll have some fun. But as always, with me, my awesome fiery bestie, Miss Scarlet Fever, my ride or die. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to talk about the show, get into it, dive into it.
I know, right? It's like we were waiting for it, and it's finally here. So it's going to be a fun conversation. And our other awesome co-host, our other bestie now, Mr. James. How are you tonight?
Doing well. Ready to talk about it. First 2 episodes.
Right? I mean, I know we're going to have some gripes, got some things to talk about, but overall, I've seen the season already. We'll get into it, but let's see. I know I saw Vic popping in. I know Vic she's got opinions. She's got opinions. She's got many opinions about Alice in Borderland. She did not like it as much as all of us are dead, and I get it. So we'll see. And I think we see Mr. Bill Chill. Hello, Mr. Bill Chill.
What's up, Bill?
But overall, first 2 episodes, I think it kind of throws us right into it. We don't have to wait long for them to get into the Borderlands. So just diving into the first 2 episodes, what'd you think, Scarlet? How'd you like the first 2 episodes, Scarlet?
They were good. I enjoyed them. There wasn't anything too crazy that I saw that was not what I thought to expect from the show. So I enjoyed it.
And what about you, Mr. James? What'd you think of the first 2 episodes? Because you guys didn't get any further than that, right? So we're going to go, you guys are kind of going as we're going to discuss them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, I did watch part of episode 3 till it finished the zombie game, but then I had to stop it right there. So it was like 20 minutes or so into the next episode. But as far as the first 2 episodes, I guess it's a different feeling going into this one because of how the first 2 seasons ended. It's like you didn't know what it was. You might have had theories and stuff like that, but until you got to the end of season 2, you didn't really know, I guess, what was going on. So then it had the big reveal, and now we're at this point. So now it's different territory, in my opinion. Like it's a different, not a different story, but it's almost like The Matrix Part 4 or something, right? Like I don't know. I'm gonna wait for more episodes, but it's I guess I'll just have to wait to see where it goes, if for it to come together, to see if it comes together, that kind of thing.
Understandable. And yeah, so it's like we saw right away that she kind of gets, our poor Usagi gets drawn back into the Borderlands, and that is very much different from how she ended up back there from the manga. In the manga, she is in an accident, and that's what brings her back to the Borderlands. So I was a little iffy on this dude in a wheelchair. I don't know, what were you guys' take on our Mr. Professor or whatever he is? I don't know. I got creepo vibes from him right off the bat.
Yeah.
Well, he seems just real interested in what that place is. Maybe he knows someone or he's been there before and he's trying to figure out sort of how to get back there. Maybe he wants to go there so he's not in the wheelchair anymore because he knows that you get a choice if you win.
Right. And maybe because he's in a wheelchair, he was in an accident where it happened to him, and he's been there before himself, maybe even. But
sort of
yeah,
trying to prove it too, so people don't think he's crazy.
Yeah. But to me, the dude from season 2 that became a permanent citizen of Borderland that kept popping in and giving people Joker cards, that's where I'm hanging on, I guess, as far as, okay, this is like more than just a connected consciousness. It's a connected consciousness that can connect into the real world kind of thing. So, it depends on how all that goes in the later episodes, I guess.
Oh yes, you're definitely going to figure out kind of what he's doing behind all this. There definitely is a conclusion to the story for them. But like I said, my only gripe was I didn't understand why Usagi wanted to kind of go back. I was like, is she trying to go back because she's starting to remember? Remember when we kind of see her
Right. It was
at
her
the
dad.
hotel?
Yeah,
Or
because
like,
she kept having the dreams about her dad.
Yeah, when they played the video, found that little card and played the video of her interview right there at the end of season 2. I mean, episode 2.
Yeah.
She said that, no matter how much I know it's a nightmare of my dad, killing himself or whatever, that's where I want to be.
And even in her dream, it looked like he was, I don't know where he was, but it didn't look like he was in the real world.
Right.
So I don't know if he's convincing her like that's where he is. And all you have to do is go there to find him. I don't know because we haven't gotten any more information yet. As far as
because the chick that was in the hospital or whatever that had remembered everything or whatever that talked to Arisu the first time about the drug and stuff. She said it could be an eternity. So what if the dad could still be there in that world, even if it's just for another little bit, until his heart actually does stop. But that changes time, that fucks with time. And yeah, if you really start thinking about it, things start breaking down.
Your scientifical brain just can't
I know. I try not to. I'm trying to teach myself to just go with it, James. Just go with it, James. Just go with it, James. And
So yeah,
that's about everything. The Walking Dead and everything.
right. But yeah, and I don't know how she remembers. Like that's another thing. Like how did she? Because she seems to know a lot. When she
Yeah,
goes into that meeting with Arisu, she like is like, yeah, we met, we
pretty much
played
everything.
games, we like she lays it all out to him, and she's the only one who really remembers. And when she pulls out the drugs, it's almost like she also wanted to go back,
Yeah,
but she kind of stood back because Arisu needed to save Usagi, and somebody needed to be there to kind of, I guess, start his heart and do all that stuff. So I wanted to see. I was hoping that maybe she was going to go into the Borderlands too. So I was a little like, okay, I guess it's just going to be, Arisu going in, and Anne is going to kind of stay back and monitor the situation.
right. Because
So
hopefully before 2 minutes pass, she revives him, and for us, it was the entire season,
Well, it
maybe,
puts
or
you in a
something.
coma, right? Essentially, or whatever. It stops your heart or something, or puts you in a
Yeah,
coma for a minute.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
kind of what happened to, I can't remember, where his wife and the doctor, they were put in a similar.
yeah,
So those two could be working together, the doctor and her, if she did know so much and she revealed it to the study, she could be sort of, for whatever, I don't know the reason truly, but working with him.
or
I don't know.
maybe he kind of like revealed a lot to her about the Borderlands, and we don't really know if was he there for those first original games. Like
and are they the
there
original? Really? I mean, how long? I guess this place has been there forever.
With Borderlands, I would imagine so. It seems like a place that's been around since time.
Yeah,
It's seemingly.
Mhm.
shared consciousness of the time.
And now they're in this, so they're going to be in the Borderlands for a while compared to Arisu for the 2 minutes that he's going to go in there. So with them being in the coma, their time is going to be way longer. I assumed from seeing them in the comas, because you're talking about 2 minutes to being fully unconscious and in the Borderlands. So they're going to be in there way longer than Arisu.
Right. But
And even
didn't
though when Arisu enters, it still seems like it's just watching that first game and then getting into the zombies, like 2 minutes that they were in there for days. Like one game, I think when they
yeah,
went from the first game to the zombies, they were like, it's taking place 2 days from now at
yeah,
sunset.
yeah. Yeah, but so didn't though Anne, I think it was before she gave him the shot, she said when your heart stops, that's when you enter the borderland. So the entire time they were in the coma, when the doctor came and got him and was showing Arisu, he's like, they could have heart failure at any moment, kind of thing. So the way I took it was they're not in the borderland until the heart stops,
Hmm.
which again, it goes into the timeline question and stuff. But then the dude is in the real world giving out
Right?
Joker
That bugged
cards.
me out. That
So
that bugged me out. That he's like able to kind of transition back and forth from, and like how is he able to do that? Like
Well, that
he
could be
became a
going
resident.
into this study that guy's doing. If he's bringing this much attention, I'm talking about the guy in the real world, the doctor.
Hmm.
If they're bringing this much attention to the Borderlands, as far as studying it, and all these people are now knowing about it, it might, because seemingly most people come back with no memory or dreams. So, I mean, you had a few that kind of really remember, but most of them don't remember, or it's kind of foggy like a dream. So they just assume they're dreaming. They don't think too much about it. It's not talked about, but maybe that's why he's able to come into this world now, because it's not just a myth. It's not just a dream. They're bringing it into reality.
Which could be, and I found it interesting when when they were questioning Arisu in the way beginning, and he started to like say, do you kind of like remember this? And the other doctor's like, you can't say those things because that's going to mess up the study because they're going to think you planted those memories. So you still have to have the people kind of come to it on their own, or I forget how he worded it, but like you can't manipulate their memories because then how do we know if they're really remembering something
Yeah, he
or
doesn't
if
want
it's
he
just
doesn't want
something?
them to be influenced.
Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you,
Yeah.
Scarlet.
Because it's just so curious that out of all the times that this seems to be the only time that they've studied it, this gentleman and his group. So out of all the years, yeah, there's probably been books on death and books on the place, but there's never been a true study on it. Like they're studying people. They may, if he's got he's using this drug, who knows if they've used it on other people before, and have
Correct.
had them come back. So that alone, they're messing with a world that they don't understand.
Oh, it's messing
So
back. It's messing
it's
back.
messing back.
But
And
he
that could
has
be
done
part
other
of,
studies
and that could
because
be
he
part of
flashes to
the,
this chick. This chick is somebody from his past. He flashes to her because he has been messing with this, with trying to figure out the afterlife. He's been messing with it for a while. And he kind of reveals that when we see this flashback, and he flashes back to this chick that he was doing stuff with. And I believe he said you get a little bit of his backstory in the beginning. I have to go back and rewatch, but he's been messing with the afterlife for a minute. That's been his whole kind of thing. Now, I don't know if it's from the point of the meteorite, or because even as the story progresses, we don't get much about this, but we do find out that because we see this chick and they're doing stuff with the afterlife, and they talk a little bit about it when he's flashing back to it, but I have to go back and I have to rewatch it.
All right. He was a college professor, and when they went into the office when he was missing, and that lady was like, he's been into this, he's into everything like that and groups and all this different stuff. It seemed like for a long time, much longer than the meteor, the asteroid impact.
and if they're messing with this so much, and now he's got case studies on individuals who have been there, like he's trying to get them to remember in a sense, or trying to get them to say if they remember. If this place doesn't want people to remember, and you're forcing these things to come out into the light, this place may be doing a reset in a sense. So anyone who's ever known about it, they're going to a tournament. Only one's going to survive. So that way you wipe the slate clean.
That does seem like why they're gathering people that had been there before.
Because that would only make sense if this is coming out into the light now, and it's particularly now after they've gotten this group of studies that have come in, and now it's like all of a sudden we're going to get the Joker, and this world is bleeding into the real world, which we never seem to have saw before. That just makes me think like this world is fighting back in a way, and it's kind of like, okay, all you survivors that running your mouths, we're going to take care of this. Kind of, it's almost like death's trying to fix itself. Like, okay, y'all aren't supposed to be talking about this. Now people are trying to go to this place that aren't supposed to be there, because these events seem to be set. Like, if you think about how just natural order of things, whether we know it or not, if death always has a list, it knows that a meteor is going to strike. These people are going to have to go through this event. But you're not supposed to remember it, because people aren't just supposed to be willy-nilly going to this place, like with the drug or whatever, like knowingly to go there in order to play. I don't know the full rules of this place, but it didn't seem like you're just supposed to be able to go there on your own, like free will. This is something that happens to you. You're supposed to be fighting for your life in order to survive. Well, if you're going there, are you really fighting for your life? Did you put yourself there like intentionally?
Yep. And if you guys remember this chick, when he first meets her at the first game, she says, "Game, I'm here to experience the afterlife." So
Exactly.
these
So that's what I'm
people
saying. Like
came
they're
to
starting
mess
to
with
play
it.
the system, and the system doesn't seem to appreciate it. Which is why he is seemingly wanted, when he was talking to our main guy, he seems like he wants him to win. Because again, he didn't really remember. He was kind of forced into his memories. and he was one that he thinks can win. And how else do you draw him back in but with his wife?
Right? He's got a weird obsession with Arisu. Like he's specifically targeting him for some reason, and I don't know if he's targeting him because he won the prior games and got all these people to the point to where they were able to choose whether to stay or to leave the Borderlands. And is it maybe that because the most amount of people left this time compared to the past, we saw other groups of people that chose to stay. So did that screw something up because more people chose to go home?
I don't think so, because that's always a choice. And the games are pretty clear in the fact that you're like, that's all allowed. I don't think the game or the way the rules work that's a hindrance. Because we don't know. Do we know that his was, I can't remember, was his the only one that was the most? Like, we know that for a fact out of all of the history of the games?
We don't. And that's why I'm just using that as like, could it be? Because we've never seen, and we haven't gone backwards to see, like, even when we saw the residents for the first time, we don't know why they chose to stay. So, and who knows how many people were in that? Like, is this only something does this Borderlands only open up during massive events? Or is it something that anybody enters no matter how they die? So,
Well, this makes you think the way they're playing this game, well, that it could possibly be anybody. Kind of just probably depends on, it's like there's got to be some sort of trigger circumstance, unless everybody goes there and we just don't again remember. And that's why people end up, when they're in the comas and stuff. Some people make it, some people don't. As far as this story goes, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know. I think anybody can go there as long as your heart stopped. But I'm wondering if there is, like you're saying, is there another trigger for that, and specifically? But if they're allowed to go back this easily by just basically putting their heart to rest, I don't know. I would think, and maybe that's what I said. I wondered if her dad was there, because when we see the dream, it didn't seem like he was in the real world.
Right.
So it made me think that in this society, in this culture, in the story or whatever, anybody can go to the Borderlands if you go through a certain sort of trauma to your heart or your body or whatever, in order to have to fight back to get back to this world. And then you're kind of given that choice too, which is kind of cool in a way, like if that is a real thing for these people to have to go through, because that's pretty fucking wild to think of, like stay here and live like kings, so to speak, or go back to the life you lived, which for a lot of these people, depending on their walk of life, that, it is kind of crazy to think like you can kind of live the rest, like forever here. And basically you're living in the same town, it's the same city, but you're not having to deal with whatever you had to deal with in your real world, which could be like, I don't know, criminals trying to run from the law. You could have some sort of disability or some kind of like ailment that now is not affected in the same way here. It's not going to progress. I can't remember if people had like cancer or anything like that, and it kind of stopped while they were there.
Good point.
So a lot of little things. Sorry, I'll get rambling.
This
No, it's
reminds
okay.
me a lot of, did you guys ever see a movie called Flatliners? It's pretty old.
I watched the
Kiefer
newer,
Sutherland.
didn't they do a newer version
They
of
might
that?
have. I'm
I
not
want to
sure.
say they did that. I tried to check out, but I know the movie that you're talking about, and they did that kind of study too, where they brought them back from the dead.
Yeah, they would put them in a state of near death and then bring them back.
But they just didn't know what they were bringing back.
Right. So, this theme has been played on a bunch of times. This is an interesting take on it. It's got its plot holes, of course, and weird things if you think too deep into it. But I haven't thought too deep yet. It depends on where it goes. I could see where it goes and gets kind of funny, but hopefully, if it just kind of stays where it's at, I could suspend my sci-fi science mind. Uh-oh, she went away.
Oh no, did you mute yourself?
I love Mary Jane. I took a hit off my blunt and It was not cooperating with me.
Uh-oh.
No, I was gonna say, now that you guys have seen the first 2 episodes, like, where do you have an idea of where you guys think it might be going? Like, with
Like, what do
what
you
you
mean?
saw.
In what regard? Because I mean, I
So we
think
have
this.
this guy who's bringing these. We have the guy bringing them to the Borderlands. So do you think he is the one messing with the Borderlands, or do you think somebody else might be pulling his strings?
Like if he's the Joker or the Joker is someone else.
Hmm.
Because like I'm with Vic, it really gave me the recruiting guy in Squid Games vibes,
Mhm.
as far as what was happening. But he's blinking into the real world. I don't see how you can say that isn't happening, as far as what's being shown to us. So
True. And we also don't know because the face cards on the last season, they had their own individual games, but we also don't know how much influence they particularly had. I can't remember over the entirety of that world. Like, again, when you're offered to live here, be part of that society, those face cards were like kings and queens. This Joker
yeah,
card, the way like you would be if I remember correctly, didn't they say in the second one that the zombie card was kind of like one of those is kind of like a Joker card where it's kind of like you can do anything. Um, and that's kind of the way I think of the Joker card, anyways. Like when you play cards and you have like
yeah.
Joker Wild and stuff like that. So the Joker card
He's
is
above the king
he's
and the
above the
queens.
kings and the queens,
Yeah.
right? So if the kings and the queens face cards were all those cards were treated like kings and queens, would the Joker be treated like a god?
Possibly, maybe the god of the
Right.
realm.
And
And
if he's the god of the realm and you're
is
fucking with his
he
shit,
a person even?
and
Even
see,
when
I don't know because
Arisu
the guy
showed
that
Anne,
stayed, you would think he's the Joker because he's the one handing out the Joker cards.
mm,
That's what I'm assuming he's the Joker, and I don't know how he became the Joker. Like, what was it like? How do you get to pick your face card? Like, how was the Queen picked? How were the Kings picked? Like I can't remember how they were picked for their individual suits. Like, did they just get to go up and say, "I want to be that card," or was it
Right.
like based off of your rank in the game or whatever
Right.
you're given this based off of something about you're giving this sort of higher ranking.
And
they never explained that to us, by the way. Nobody ever revealed how they were whether assigned to a face card or whether they chose that face card.
right,
All I remember is that the naked guy in the one with the
the band,
containers,
yeah,
he said they got to pick their game.
Mm-hmm.
right.
So they did get to create their game and pick their
Yeah.
game, but they never stated whether they got to pick
Right.
their
And the people that said
face
I want to
card.
become a citizen and stay here, is that what they're doing? They're going to have to be a king or queen, or they're going to have to still fulfill their visas, or is that a different status? Like, okay, I don't have to worry about playing games anymore. I can just live in this crazy world.
Yeah, it
You
seemed
know?
like when we were watching, the people who were watching them sort of monitoring the cameras in the first 2 seasons are the citizens. Like we got to see sort of a tower of individuals that were living there, I believe.
Mhm.
But how the I'm wondering how the face cards are chosen because we
Right,
know when
right.
you get to stay, you become part of the society. But how do we determine the hierarchy in that society? Who gets to determine the face cards? And again, did they have to play? Like everybody could say, okay, I want to be a face card, and you have to play a game in order to win that. And did this guy do something? Because he was one that survived from the meteorite, right? He decided to stay back. The guy that's with the Joker card, or was he someone
Yes.
totally different? All right, so he's from the last games.
Yes.
And I'm trying to remember him particularly and what
He was revealed to us in the Jack of Hearts game in the prison where they were all wearing the collars.
yeah.
And that's when we first met him, and he became a citizen with the other guy who was wearing the suit, who
At
was
the
pointing the
end.
girl and using the girl to kind of help him with the game, and then they killed. But if you remember, I don't know if you guys remember the kid with the white hair or the really blonde hair. When he went to one of the other players at that game, he said, "This guy is a serial killer." Like he is a known serial killer in Japan that they've been looking for a really, really long time.
Which makes sense why he
So,
wants to stay, like from earlier. So he could be something that world in particular saw something like he did something after, because he stayed as a citizen, right? So we don't know how that works as far as how they're picked and who gets to do what. If he is this sort of evil character, he could have taken over the world and made himself a god and made himself the Joker card.
It's possible.
yeah.
So
That is-
do we know like let's say the first 2 seasons?
Mm,
And then talking about Borderland itself, is there just one connected conscious, which is the Borderland, or are there a bunch like multi-universes kind of thing happening? Because like in the first 2 seasons, the Borderland that we saw, was that just the people that was in the asteroid strike, or was it all people everywhere, just no matter if they had a car wreck on the other side of the country or something,
mhm.
is it ever explained?
This seems to be within Tokyo, this particular Borderland.
Yes, up
Everybody
to this
that
point,
enters
no.
into there enters in from Tokyo, and the whole games are played within Tokyo. And I believe, I don't know if I call it a shared consciousness as much as I would say it's their souls.
Mhm.
So do we think or believe that there's another Borderland at the border of the Tokyo Borderland? Like
It
if you
possibly
were,
could be.
if you're in America, if you're in New York and have a near-death experience, do you go into a New York Borderland shared conscious?
If this is if I were to apply the logic all the way across, I would say yes.
Interesting.
I would too. But this also very much reminded me of From, because how we're always wondering, like, how come we never see anybody else enter from we see them enter from all across the United States, right? But we never see somebody who may have popped in from Europe, or even we never see one of those pegs in Mexico. But since they were keeping track, who knows if, but it almost reminds me of how it's like for their area, this is where they are. Kind of like if From is just within somewhere in the United States, why maybe they only pull people in from across that kind of area because that's its reach. So up to this point, yeah, I was wondering that myself. Like, how would it work if somebody, because people, their heart stops all over the world.
Right.
Where would they go? Is it one section for America, another section, or like is it like if, because we even see Anne walk to see how far she could go, and it looks like it's literally a carbon copy of Japan,
Mm-hmm.
because she's like, I got to this point of the forest and there's just more forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
There
seems
was
like it's just centered within Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like that's this particular Borderland.
And man, aren't a whole shit ton of people in Tokyo having near-death experiences at the same time? I mean, all those games are always full of people.
Yeah, a
Right?
lot of them seem to be mass accidents, but the way that they're showing this one, I wouldn't be surprised if people ended up there just from normal everyday like heart failure.
Right. They should. I mean, right?
I mean, I would assume so. Now, how the games works that, I don't know. Because with this one, it throws that off, right? Because from my understanding so far, everyone in this particular arena or whatever is all from like the previous, like they've all been here before.
Yeah, but
There's
not
no new
from
accountings.
but not from the asteroid strike, because sitting around the table that shocked everybody, didn't different people say different things? And then that one girl said, well, I'm here from the meteorite thing, or they called it the Shiobi incident or whatever.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody here has already been here before.
But
so I'm curious as to
under
why,
different things.
Yeah, but I'm
different
curious
reasons.
as to why, like, no new people, like what you were just saying, how if people's heart fails or whatever, they end up here, right? This tournament puts a wrench in that because of the fact that, as far as I know, through the 2 episodes that I've watched, everybody in this tournament is from a
Yeah.
previous game.
And it
No
backs up what you said earlier, though,
newcomers.
that they're trying to.
Yeah, they're trying to wipe it clean.
Yeah,
So what's happening to the other souls? They're not going to be able to be entered. The souls
Like I
that
say,
are
maybe there's another Borderland.
there could
Yeah,
be.
or
Is there
or-
another one within Tokyo?
or dimension, or it's
Like
like
reality, like another.
yeah.
I mean, it could be.
But see, that's the
Now,
thing. That's
they do
getting
kind of
crazier
answer
and
that
crazier.
because at the end, when they all survive the very first game, when they're and they're kind of around their little powwow talking
Mm-hmm.
about like everything, this kid mentions, because he says, I entered the Borderlands because I attempted to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
So he was not in.
Okay,
the
that's why I was
meteorite.
asking. As I couldn't remember if everybody had entered via that
And when
particular
they
means.
when this group was talking, some of them came from the meteorite and some of them came from just other circumstances of what brought them here.
Yeah,
I think
led
that,
to
I
their
think
near death
there was
experience.
a lady in there who was beaten badly by her husband and ended up in a coma. You had this kid who attempted to kill himself, but there was a couple of these other people that were here from the meteorite because they started to remember after that, because even at the end of the game they all start pulling out Joker cards like that they had. So now were they pulling out Joker cards because they were visited by the citizen kid,
Yeah,
or
I would say
I
so.
would
And
assume so.
it seems like this is the Joker level of Borderland. Like nobody else, like all the other people, like we were talking about, that maybe they just had an accident or something, car accident, and their heart stopped. They are in the next queen and king levels, and all these people are past that, and they're in the Joker level.
Right. Now, the guy who was committing suicide, he'd never been in the games before.
he said he was at the games when he was starting to remember, but he doesn't say much about it. He just
No, but I'm
says,
saying, like, so everyone has been.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause
been
I got
at
confused there
Borderland.
for a minute. I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, wait a minute. So they hadn't been in the
Yeah.
games. They just.
Yeah,
'Cause-
he said he
okay.
had. Yeah, he had.
Okay.
And then he said, when I got back, you think, well, playing the games are terrible or whatever, but I slipped my wrist because I was being bullied. And then when I got back, I was still bullied. Nothing changed. So it's like,
He
"Mhm."
wanted to go back. Okay.
kind of,
Yeah.
kind
All
of.
right. I was just making sure. I was like, well, shit. That just struck everything I just said. I was like, if they still were, if they had newcomers coming in.
Right. So it seems like they're all kind of, they've all been here before and were pulled back in for different reasons.
Yeah, for the
But
Joker level.
Yeah.
what did you guys think of the very first game that they had to play?
I was really clever.
Well, we figured
I
out what
was
that
looking at this
volcano
math
was.
problem. I was looking at this math problem and I was like, oh my God, the one time you need fucking algebra is in
Hey.
the afterlife.
Hey, if this was an American version, that would be much simpler. A much
Mhm.
simpler equation. But
Right?
since it's over there, they're like, oh,
They
this
have
is
higher expectations.
yeah, this is actually pretty easy.
I was looking at that shit and I was trying to answer some of the questions as they was like, oh, I think the only one that I actually got right was the one with the Roman numerals. I was like, L equals 50. I was like, I know that one.
Mhm.
I was like, I actually knew that one. That was the only question but even this, did you realize that when they was like the line, what number or whatever, they
No,
turned that bitch upside down.
not that
It's
quick.
number 17. I was like, that's a trick question. That
Mhm.
is such a fucking trick question.
They don't give you
Did
much
you
time
guys-
to think about it.
They
Mm-mm.
fucking give you like I was like, oh, that sucks. But now what's funny is this game in the manga, when Arisu and his two friends first enter into the Borderlands, this is the game they play. So this game is actually from the manga. The only difference is instead of getting these, it's not like a little box that they went up to. It was one of those, I don't know if you guys remember the movie Big. It was one of those kind of people, them things in the little machine. It gave you a fortune.
Yeah.
And then the fortune was a question that they had to answer. And if they got it wrong, the difference was how many arrows they
Yeah.
got shot at them. So this actually was pulled
Nice.
from the manga itself. They just it's the original game that Arasu plays with his two friends when they first enter into the Borderlands. It's not that building with the rooms where you
Right.
have to go through the doors. This is the actual so I enjoyed this game because this was pulled right from
Right.
the manga.
All the arrows were cool, especially when they were all coming at the
That was
same time.
right when he was like, what's the population of the world? I was like, oh.
They're about to get
If
off
you're even
by a
off,
bunch.
like, right? He's like, that's what a billion arrows look like. And
Ooh,
I was just
doggy.
like, holy crap. Holy crap. But yeah, I enjoyed watching this game because this was pulled right from the original manga. And I was shocked that they did it now because they said in the very first original of the first season, they didn't have the budget for this. So that's why they had to switch the game because they didn't have a big enough scale to pull this game off the way they wanted to on screen. So that's why they didn't do it. So I was excited to see it here. So that means at least they got more money for this season because they were able to pull it off and I thought they pulled it off really well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it looked good.
Yes. And sorry, I have no translations. I wanted to get this thing translated, but everywhere I looked, they didn't have translations up for it yet. So I will be looking into what this actually says.
Cool. Yeah, the time travel, the 2-minute thing, heart stops, the Borderland realm of shared consciousness and all that kind of stuff. That's one thing as far as how the story plays out. But as far as the effects and the acting and all that kind of stuff, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty first rate as far as some of the effects. Those people getting shocked was pretty cool.
I was insane. And like you notice how their like eyes, everybody's
Yeah.
eyeballs just like popped out of their heads. That was crazy. That just goes
You know
to
what?
show you the intensity of that fucking shock.
See, nothing would suck more than knowing you're down the line, but people are getting knocked off and it's coming your way. Like the trough at Terminus and The Walking Dead. I mean, could you just imagine being fourth down the line and seeing what's happening to everybody else and they're coming towards you? I mean, that's just,
Right?
I mean, you just don't, that's the kind of thing you don't want to think about.
This game was definitely intense. And this is like
Vic,
it was
say
in
it,
like
Vic.
this little like carnival type of area in the manga, and it looked like what would be like what we would call like a carnival, where it had all the different like carnival games and everything like that. So this was pulled right from the manga, and I loved it.
Nice.
But yeah, no, this like yeah, you're fucked. You're
Vic
fucked.
is totally correct. And I was thinking that when it happened, like, are they doing this just for, hey, we want to show a lady in her bra or something? Because he had on like a sweater thing or something over his shirt, that he could have pulled off and used as a tourniquet. But he pulled the
Yes.
lady's shirt off. So that was kind of weird.
Yep. And that's considered very like risque to do. Like even when the guy like ran over and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like to do that's you don't see that often in Asian kind of cinema. It's very, very rare that you'll see like something like that. But I I get it, but yeah, you're right. Like I had on 50,000 different pieces of clothes. Did he have to rip off her shirt?
Yeah. And, the only thing, as I didn't think too much into it, but I was thinking maybe he knew that the type of shirt she had on would stay tight when he tied it tight on her leg as a tourniquet, but his sweater or whatever he had would stretch and wouldn't stay tight or something, you know. Maybe that's some little detail like that. But I don't know.
Very true. True, because he had on like this red jacket, and maybe that was like too bulky.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but there's like curtains hanging here.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
could one of those kind of work?
And you know,
But
hey, maybe the dude's thinking, shit, we're all about to die, so take your shirt off, lady. I'll use it as a tourniquet, but at least I get a little eye candy before we all die by
right,
flaming arrows.
right, and then they had to figure out mental gymnastics. Then they had to finish figure out that there was a secret compartment that they all were able to kind of like
And
jump into,
see, who the
and then
hell can figure that shit out?
right, you didn't figure
Even
that
with the
out,
directions, okay, let's go this direction, and he just happened to step on a loose stone. I mean, come on, that's just lucky duck, lucky ducky duck.
right? And what if there wasn't enough survivors to lift this fucking
Yeah, see,
5,000-pound piece of like rock? The three
yeah,
of these three dudes barely were able to fucking open that shit up. So I don't
yeah.
know. Like,
But the effects were cool.
do you think that maybe these games are almost more rigged than because they seemed almost like if you were even off by, you saw what 50 arrows did when they asked that question about the population of the fucking world. I was like, that's fucked up.
And
Like,
they're
no,
made to be harder. If all these people have played the games before and any of them remember how to play, they'll know that the devil's in the details. Because on all the other games, a lot of them that he won, it was wordplay or something. There was something said within the rules or within the terms of the game
hmm
that not it's not all of them are not what they appear to be. Like it's not just as simple as okay, it's you got to kill somebody or tag somebody or whatever. There could be another loophole within the game, but you had to figure it out. They've been through this process before, which would explain why the intensity.
Yeah.
Champion of champions.
I mean, that
right?
first one seemed harder than the second one to me. You know, I
Well,
guess.
it depends on how you look at it. Because he finally figured it out at the end. They were focused on the question or the riddle, but they didn't pay attention. Like, why is there a direction on here? You have to pay attention to everything they're telling you, and that was kind of what that was. Just like the girl was trying to say with the zombie. Now we're making it a more interesting game. She knows.
Yeah.
She's played before. She understands kind of what the rules are and how they can manipulate them.
Very much. Now, Scarlett, did you see the conclusion of the zombie game? Did you go
No,
further
I did
past
not.
episode 2?
I just stopped at 2.
Okay, so we'll leave the conversation at that. But what did you guys think of the zombie game? I immediately thought of you, James.
Oh yeah.
I was a little disappointed because I was hoping they're in an infectious disease place.
I
Like, I
know.
really thought that this chick that was like in the trailer mushed up against the thing with all the blood coming out of her face.
Yeah.
We thought originally that was a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd been crazy.
Oh, and I thought it would have just been a little more interesting had they really had to deal with zombies. But I thought the card game was kind of interesting on how it worked. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy the zombie game?
Yeah, it was a little mystery, suspense, little thing going on there.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
was
basically like,
interesting.
yeah, there was 4 zombies, one in each of the teams, and if you got infected by one, you became a zombie, and you could either get rid of the zombies by turning them back into a human with the vaccine or shooting them with the shotgun to eradicate the zombies, and everybody got 1 shotgun card. But the vaccine cards were like scattered. Not everybody had a vaccine card. So I thought this was kind of well thought out, but yes, I really would have loved to have seen some real zombies.
Well, I've seen a theme too. All right, first game. All right, they're in teams, right? So you got to work together as a team. The first one, instead of them yelling at each other, they should have been paying more attention to the clues on the cards or on the little slips. And here they had to play as teams too in order to win. There's always a way out. Everybody, well, I don't know if everybody could survive the first ones because of the arrows coming down, but there are other ways I think they could have survived in the first game had they been working together a little better. more would have survived. And the same could be said of these games. If you're working together and actually trying to figure it out, because you're not just playing a singular game anymore, you're playing a group game.
Pretty much. But then at the end of by the time we get to like the end of the game, we could see that kind of team mentality is almost like shifting, because now you just had, whereas you had these two guys who just wanted to just shoot all the zombies at the point. These two kids, I'm going to call them kids because they look young, but these two kids basically were like, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to round them up and shoot all the zombies.
Yeah.
When
And
the other girl was like, we have to create like this kind of trust bubble to where if you're infected, we'll see who's got vaccine cards and we'll use them on each other to keep us all safe and turn us into humans if, push comes to shove. So you had the girl with the blue hair trying to do it almost like a teammate thing. And then by the end, these two were just like, fuck it, we're just going to shoot all the zombies.
yeah. And Vic, you can't think that much into it. You can't outsmart the Joker so fast. Vic, I can see her in the show, and she's just cruising through all the games like, you stupid MFer.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even know.
Right? But but just the mentality of, you had one person trying to think of it almost like a team, and then at the end you had just these two outliers who were like, fuck it, we're just gonna kill everything.
I
So
know,
it's like,
human nature, man. Human nature
that's
starts into play.
right. So it's
But they didn't
interesting.
kill the one zombie guy though, because he was able to go back and tell his friends. They didn't seem like they were seemed more like they were intimidating them to sort of come forth instead of having to play this game throughout the night.
Oh, you mean when the Yakuza guy beat up the other one? It was like, where's that?
Because it seemed as if they were still trying to do that plan, just a little more aggressively.
See, I thought at this point he was doing that because they're going to round up all the zombies to just know where they are, and everybody just one by one use a shotgun card on them.
Maybe I didn't finish. I haven't got to 3 yet, so I don't know how the games end.
Mm-hmm. And it ended interesting. So, but I thought the concept of this was cool. I just wish they threw in some real zombies, because that would have really okay, so on top of all this bullshit, you now have to also fucking worry about real ass fucking zombies. That would have definitely have, risen the risk factor. But I thought it was a cool game. And then this
And I don't know. Would
Borderland.
they have all? If I'm reading what Vic was saying, if they all turned into zombies, like offering that up, do you think everybody would have agreed to that?
I'm going to say no. I wouldn't agree to it. You ain't rounding me up.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
the trouble with it though is the groups were separated and
No, I
so
mean,
far away
like-
from each other. They had to play before they could all get together and talk.
yeah. So
And
like
that already messed up the system.
So like, because I'm wondering, because that's a good idea, like, because you're beating the system in that way, but you have to have that trust to begin with, and that's why she was like, I mean, she did it in a little, like Vic said, in a real complicated way, but it was a way to build that trust so that you could kind of sort of save as many as you could, I guess. Because I don't know if they offered up, hey, it's just as simple as, hey, who's the zombie? Go ahead and let us know, and you can all turn us. Well, who wants to give up that they're a zombie? Because you're instantly killed. You got to hope everybody in that room is going to be honest and faithful with that.
Yeah, that's
so her way seemed to sort of build that, like she called it, like the little trust circle or whatever. I don't know. I kind of like the way she went about it, but I like her character so far anyways, because not only was she trying to like figure a way to, because she was a zombie, so she knew she was fucked. So she built this in order to protect herself, really. but in a way she saved a lot of people, but she made it interesting. Because she even said now the games are interesting. So I like her
right?
character.
And she notes that, whether you're a zombie, if you have a vaccine card, you can't use it on yourself. Somebody else has to use a vaccine on you. So you kind of create this trust bubble saying, okay, we're going to have to use vaccine cards on other people, and we're going to have to trust each other to do that. So that's kind of like what she was saying. She's like, we have to come together because we can't use vaccine cards on ourselves. So we have to form some kind of, you know, relationship to where we use them on each other so that we all survive at the end. Because if you're a zombie, having a vaccine card does nothing for you.
Hmm.
You can't use it on yourself. So yeah, I thought she was really smart the way she kind of came about trying to form, like, at least she did something, because otherwise nobody else was, the other kids are just like, yeah, we're just going to shoot all the fucking zombies,
Pow, pow, pow.
right?
And I still don't trust her. She's a little spicy, and I like her, and I'm curious to see where she really fits in with all this. If she's just that smart, that
Ooh,
clever,
she's a joker.
or she's something more in the games that's watching the games. She doesn't like how the games are being played. She's in there to kind of manipulate them. I don't know. I like her character though, because there's a good question about her. Like there's this mystery about her in my mind watching the way she's playing the games.
Hmm.
She's very interesting.
Yeah, she reminds me a little bit of the doctor guy from the first couple seasons that seemed like smart, kind of like Arisu, and thought logically about the stuff.
But she
Yeah.
wanted to make it interesting though, and that was what was like a little asterisk or something I put when I'm watching it. I'm kind of like, so you're into making the games interesting. So you're not just trying to get through it to a degree, or you're trying to at least make it entertaining for yourself while you're here. That's interesting. I don't know why, but it just the way she went about it was really curious.
Right. Well, even when like we first kind of see her, like I loved her entrance. Like when she first kind of pulled up on the group and we see her for the very first time. I just thought like she stood out to me. Like I loved it. I loved what she's just like there. She seems like something pulled right out of the anime.
Yeah, I was
She
Right.
about
just
to
seems like
say
the anime
that.
Yeah.
character. Like she's just, and I loved it. I loved her whole look. I loved her attitude. She just like, I was like, oh, she's gonna be fun. She's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be fun. Like just look at her. Like she's fucking great. And just like the way she talked and the way she kind of, you could tell she was smart. Like
Right.
she wasn't dumb by any means in what you would call like dumb. She was definitely on Arisu's kind of level when it came to like being able to dissect things and figure things out and break things down. So yes, I thoroughly enjoyed her. But yeah, so I mean, and listen, the games are crazy. I thought they really stepped up their they stepped up the games this season. So the I like the zombie game. It didn't bother me, like I said. I just wish we had real zombies thrown into it, but it definitely was one of those games like you had to think about it. Like if you just went into it and didn't have or formulate some kind of plan, because in the end, whichever side has the numbers is the side that survives. The other side's going to die. So you have to really figure out, okay, if we're going to eradicate the zombies in the end, what do we do about it?
And the shotgun card really throws things for a loop because you just don't want to barge in there and go, "Hey, I'm a zombie" to just anybody. Because didn't every single person get one shotgun
Yes.
card? Yeah, so
Everybody
that's
got one shotgun card, but the vaccines were kind of scattered throughout. There
right.
wasn't one vaccine per person.
Yeah,
So the vaccines were limited compared to everybody got a shotgun. But you could only use the shotgun once. Once you used it,
they
that was
took
it.
it. Yeah, the table took the card, right?
We
Those were cool
weren't sure,
tables.
Vic. We weren't sure, Vic, because we didn't see any of the cards in the trailer. We only saw like the lab. So, and that's, remember, Scarlet, I know me and you were kind of talking. We thought the chick that we saw pressed against the thing was like an actual zombie, but I don't know if we um put it with this. I think we were just wondering if they were going to bring in zombies. Because I know we didn't know it was an infectious disease place based off the trailer. We just saw like it was some kind of lab, if I remember correctly. I don't think we
Yeah,
figured
I
out
don't
that it was an
remember.
infectious disease place, but we did realize that it was definitely some kind of lab because we were zooming in on like the equipment
Right.
and we saw that stuff, but we just didn't know how it was, what kind of game it was. We couldn't figure that out.
Right.
So, but it's good. I like I said, I watching these first two episodes, I was excited because I was like, okay, like I don't know if it was just because we were finally back in the board, like in the series, but my main gripe was just how they pulled Usagi into the Borderlands, because I was like, okay, you have this guy who's just wheeling up to you that you fucking met for 2 seconds, and he's like, are you honestly gonna jump on? Like, I don't know. I just
Well,
felt like
she
it was
started to
too.
remember all that stuff too.
Hmm.
And then because I'm trying to remember, um, he was following her, right? Or
Yeah.
did they meet there? Yeah, he followed her there.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I imagine after they talked to him, she's probably like, "Look, I've been to this hotel before. Whatever I've seen, this is what I've seen." And he's like, "Yeah, this is what this is." Because it seems if they go somewhere and they talk for a while about things, and then and he already knows what she had said in her, whatever in the study where they were, she talked about her dad and all that kind of stuff. So he could have talked her into going back in order to see her dad again.
You think that's what enticed her enough to want to go back, or that like she
Just
wanted to
based off
just
like what
remember in
James
general?
said, the way she talked about it, and how that she would give almost, I forget how she worded it, but it was like all she wanted was to be with her dad again. At least that was the way I took it.
Yeah.
So you think like he was honestly able to entice her enough to like all of a sudden be like, I'm gonna inject this drug into you, trust me. I just thought,
Yeah,
I
because
don't know,
like I
I
said,
was
she's
just like,
starting to see because she was starting to remember.
Yeah,
And
but do
once
we know that's what happened?
I don't know what happened. I'm just assuming
well,
that he
we
talked to
know
her.
that they're both in a coma, so they do something together.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't think
They,
it, well, I mean, you've seen it, but, I was thinking it could be even the dude that gave out Joker cards. Maybe he did something, or, it's just weird that both of them, because you would think one of those two would be more like Anne.
Unless she's the one facilitating because she's with him.
Who, Anne is with this
ooh,
guy?
Yeah.
But
Remember,
she's
because I was
supposed to
saying
be with
they're
the
earlier.
other
working
guy.
together.
I mean, we're talking about this guy right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
Anne's with him?
Yeah, because she remembered the most out of the Borderlands. He is the one over the study, right? He's the doctor over the study of the
Yeah.
Borderlands. She had access to the drugs to put them back in the board. Where did she get those drugs from?
She's an
Right. And if you
ex-cop
guys
person.
remember, she was in a loony bin. When Arisu goes to meet her, she's in like what's considered like a crazy person home.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
That's
mean,
what
but
I
we're talking like now. Like after Borderlands, they've come back. This doctor has gotten a hold of her.
Yeah,
He's a
she's in the
doctor,
Ludi bin.
but he's a doctor. He
Yeah.
couldn't say, "Oh, I've now diagnosed her. Now she's no longer crazy. You're working with me now. Talk him into coming back into the games. I'm going to get his wife. You can get him back in."
There may be some kind of
When
connection.
Arisu
Because
pulled out
how
the
would she
Joker
know that
card,
those, like, she knew the drugs. She knew the exact drugs to give him, I mean, you're in a mental institution. I don't care if you're a former cop. She's not a doctor.
She was a forensic scientist. I don't know how you know anything doctor being a forensic
That's my
scientist.
point. But who here is a possible doctor that would know that? Who has she possibly been able to be in contact? We know she's in contact with the study.
Hmm. Very true.
And then we don't see her. You're saying like that's basically it. Like she doesn't go back to the Borderland. She stayed.
She's all too familiar.
She knows
exactly
how
what
long.
to do.
She knows how long that he needs to stay in there for. How would
Yep.
she know that? We know who's been studying this place. He went in there. She stayed behind, and I'm assuming to make sure that everything goes accordingly. And further, how do we not know that our guy with the Joker cards hasn't somehow gotten in contact with this dude and is like, hey, you want to find this place so bad, we're going to give you your shot.
Hmm.
Literally.
Literally.
I don't know, like that was the only thing that kind of like threw me off was like how fast she was just willing to be like, okay, let's go. Like, I don't know if maybe now that you guys say that
She was
if
depressed,
she's
right?
starting
Like
to remember.
she didn't seem like she was always like she was kind of happy, but she like she was struggling with things. Like all of them that a lot of them that went back seemed like they were struggling. Like I said, the guy that cut his wrist, the girl that was beat up. Like even though they came back, they chose to come back. It wasn't, it was still shit. They're still. It's like they were missing something. Like not remember how to go through that. It's kind of. She starts to remember, like, she actually remembered part of it. It wasn't like full memories.
Oh, yeah, she remembered like full details.
Okay.
Because when she approached Arazu, she was just like, yeah, we've met.
No, I'm sorry,
We
not
were in
her. I mean the wife. I'm sorry, the wife. Before she goes,
Usagi.
yeah.
She was starting to remember.
As I'm saying, that's why she
But
kind of, I think, wants to go back. Like she started to remember. She's already. And something could have changed, like because I know Vic was saying like she was so distraught about her dad or whatever prior, and having a hard time getting. How was it you said it, Vic? And when the wife talked about her dad in the first 2 seasons, and I guess she was having a hard time with that in a particular manner.
well, she didn't believe that he committed suicide. That like she's just like she was like, my dad is not that type of man. He wouldn't have.
Okay.
Something must have happened to him. Like
Right.
I don't believe my dad would have committed. He would have come back to me. He wouldn't have left me alone like that. But then
So
when she
maybe
has her
after coming back
dreams,
from the Borderlands, those dreams, I think, were there. And then I can only imagine the doctor told her if she's talking about, oh God, like I remember these things. I remember this place, it's messed up. Something happened to him where he went there. Can I find him there? Did he survive the games and decide to stay? I don't know.
because she dreams of him committing suicide. So that's why I don't know if when she's dreaming, is she in the Borderlands or is she just dreaming of what everybody's kind of planted into her head that, yeah, your dad killed himself. He lied about being able to do this climb up Mount Everest. And, shame again is still a big deal in their society and their culture that he killed him. He opted out. Sorry. I know we have to use specific words. So that's why I wasn't sure if like what she's seeing is just her manifestation of what everybody's been telling her, or is this actually in the Borderlands?
All right. It
I
seems
couldn't
like in
figure
the
that out at this
Borderland,
point.
or it's just in her head, because I don't think that actually happened in real life or anything. So it's got to be either made up in her head like a nightmare, or in the Borderland, like she's foreseeing that he's there, and that's why she was yearning to go there, that kind of thing. But here's the thing that goes back to regarding time and the Borderland and how it works and everything. It may simply be a vision or a nightmare, because if her dad has been dead for a while, his 2 minutes is up, and he either lived or died, and it seemed like he died, so he
But he
wouldn't
would
be
be
there.
living in the Borderlands forever. If he won and he chose to stay in the Borderlands, your body
Be
rocked
a
the
resident.
real world, but your
Right,
soul
gotcha.
stayed
Yeah,
permanent. Let's call them souls in this
he
instance.
became a citizen, and his body
Yes.
died in the real world or whatever.
Right. That's why I call it like a soul as
Gotcha.
opposed to like a shared consciousness, because the people that they're, if you want to call it consciousness, soul, whatever, that part of them, if they choose and they win, they stay there. If they don't, they're completely dead. Like they're gone. They're gone to the further after that. Whatever, this is almost like a limbo.
Right, limbo.
You can either stay here forever, because it's very much so like a ghost. You are like a ghost walking within Tokyo. That is even a better way for me to think about it. So when they win the games, you can stay as a ghost and live in this world forever, and you'll have all these things, and you'll never age, you'll never, you never grow old, you never get sick. You remain as you are, but you get to live forever and do pretty much whatever you want. As opposed to if you lose at the games, you're dead. I mean, you're deleted. But if you survive, you come your consciousness or
Right.
your soul or whatever comes back
Right.
into the real world.
And so you're saying that the guy in the band from the first seasons and the girl in the black dress, Queen of Hearts, I guess she was, or whatever, that played croquet at the end, you guys are thinking or theorizing that they were not citizens. They were just players chosen to that status somehow, some way, we don't know.
Well, they became citizens.
The naked guy explains that. He says, when we won our games, I decided to become a citizen, and basically his bandmates kind of said, whatever we do together. So they stayed with him, and that's what elevated him to a citizen compared to a player, and how he became a face
permanent
card to
resident.
host a game.
Yeah.
Permanent resident.
So the band leader guy wasn't a card. He's just
Originally, when you come into the games, my understanding is when you win, you get to choose to be a citizen or to go home. Once you become a citizen, that's when, however I don't know how they decide. Like I said, I don't know if say it's a vote and they're like, hey, I want to be face card, so everybody votes on it, or how that sort of works. But once you win, you can become a citizen. And then the face cards were chosen after that, because they even said I believe it was like they were citizens and then they got to be face cards. I don't know how they got to be face cards, but it seemed like they were citizens.
So
originally.
It seems like though.
Before,
Let's just say I become a citizen. I won my games. I become a citizen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be a card. Like, I don't want to keep playing because the Queen of Hearts got shot in the head and the band dude got shot in the head and all his friends got shot in the head. Like, I don't want to be a citizen just to almost keep, like, maybe die just the next game or two or whatever.
Well, not all citizens.
I would rather
like
be
that.
a citizen that doesn't have to play anymore. So is that a thing?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because we see that there are regular citizens there. So it could be a thing of like you raise your hand and you kind of get to choose.
Right. Or maybe you guys are saying
do some research on that.
It's the people that's sitting at the screen, and maybe you're just sitting at the screen like for several years and you're just like, F this, man. Put me back out there. I don't care if I die. Just get me away from this desk job.
And there could be like citizens that to say, hey, look, I don't even want this anymore. But there's no going back to the real world, because once you pick citizen, it's citizen to death. I don't think there's like a citizen to real. Right.
It does seem that way, yes.
But the Joker, the kid who's, let's just call him the Joker for now, he is the only one we've seen transition from the Borderland to the real world. We didn't see any of the other face cards being able to do that. And we also, when the naked kid is explaining it, it doesn't ever, like, this seems like it's almost the first time the Joker card's coming out. Because you think he would, say to, because he was saying, I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you what I know. And if he knew that after defeating the face cards, the Joker card is revealed, I think he would have told Arisu that. So I don't know if this was the first time the face cards were revealed. I mean,
I
that
don't
the
think it
face
was the
cards were
first time that the
defeated.
face cards had been
Were
defeated.
defeated, not revealed.
I
Defeated.
don't think it was the first time they've been defeated. I think this is the first time that the real world has so much knowledge and that they're actively trying to get back to the world. People who shouldn't be going back to the Borderland.
So
That
you think there's like a
Borderlands
shift
is
in the
like, we've
magic.
got to clean this shit up. Like we got to bring everybody back and we got to wipe this
The
shit, because if they
balance
keep
almost
talking about,
shifted.
the balance is off. Because like I said, this one's particularly strange in the fact that they're going after everybody who was previously in the games. And then for the fact that, like you said, that I don't think they've ever had, because if this Joker card has come up in the past, this
Mhm.
guy, the doctor, would have known about it. He would have said, we've had this scenario before where we've had Joker card. Like, I would have thought that would have been mentioned, that he was aware of this Joker card, like in previous sort of situation. Like other people have come forth, or the bodies of people, like, why do all these people that were in this accident have, like, or that were in an accident, and then what, a year or two or however many years later, they all end up with Joker cards. Like, you would think with him investigating all of the deaths like that, he would have found that connection. As he found out this much about the Borderlands, you would think that he would have found that connection as well. And there's no mention of a Joker card ever before. Not on anybody, not been handed out to people or any. This is like totally new to this particular situation.
And that makes sense, because then the magic, like, we'll call it magic, is kind of, the scales have been tilted, let's say, and the Borderlands is almost trying to rectify that, because it
Right.
still has to be somewhat imbalance. That's a good way to look at it. That's definitely a good way to look at it. When did he get seen in the real world? Who, the Joker kid, he gets seen in the real world pretty much right away, because he reveals himself to this kid after the game they're playing, because the lights kind of flicker. I think when they're playing the game, I think they're still in the real world. I don't think they've entered into the Borderlands yet. It was almost like at the end of the game, when the wheelchair guy finally won, the lights kind of flicker and he transitions from, I guess, let's say, the guy this guy who he looked like before. Like,
Right.
this was almost like the costume he was wearing in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of flicked when the lights flickered. He faded from this guy to himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think and we see a few times he kind of enters into the real world, because even at the end, not the end, but the point where he reveals himself to Arisu, I believe this is also the real world, when
Yes.
he's revealing himself in the subway,
Yeah.
and he like tells Arisu that basically Usagi's in the Borderlands,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets his first memory after that, and he
Mm-hmm.
remembers this, like we flash to that, and then he takes the Joker card from his pocket. So he just seems mega powerful. Like,
And it
he
makes
just
sense with
seems
him being a Joker card. Like I said, it's almost as if it's a godlike card, because in most games the Joker, it's just
it's
super
the wild
powerful.
card.
Yeah,
It's the wild card.
it beats everything.
Yep.
So it makes sense that they bring out the Joker card in order to, like, hey, look, we got this shit's real. We got to do some real fuckery here to get things back on track.
And I believe at the end of season 2, the only 2 people who choose to stay are him and the guy in the suit. I don't think I don't think we see anybody else choose to stay.
And
So
that could be part of it. Maybe
could it
there
be
was
he's
just
like the
not enough
only one
people.
left? And that's also what kind of puts his power into overdrive,
Because
is
I
that
said he
he
could have.
is
If
the
he was a
only one
serial
left?
killer and he was wanting to stay, because he really wanted to stay, right? Like, he was all
Yes.
about this place, so
Yes.
much so that he could have taken it over. I mean, we don't know what, like you say, like the puppets behind it or whatever, who the wizard behind the curtain is, or sort of
Mhm.
where the power of this world resonates from, or if there is
Mhm.
like sort of controls to it. if he took over this world and he made himself the Joker, I can imagine he's doing all kinds of fuckery.
Oh, that's a good point, Vic. I wonder if he can only be seen by people who have been to the Borderlands. That's a good question. But I don't know if this group of people who are playing the first game, I don't think I don't think they were I don't think they were in the Borderlands before, because it was just this when this chick says, "I'm here because I was told I can have an afterlife experience." She just wanted to experience the afterlife. And I almost think that that's what they were all here to do. Not that they were trying to get back to the Borderlands. I think they were here under the guise of like they wanted that experience, because that's what she says. She's like, "I'm here to have the experience." I don't think she's like had the experience before.
Right, but
She
that
almost seemed like
then that
like a
raises
newbie.
the question. Okay, everybody else though seemed to have had been there before. What
Mhm.
what's the deal then with this group? Why is this group special? Is it just because of the doctor? They were trying to get the doctor in the whole time because
Well,
he maybe, like Scarlet says, kind of increase the energy of the place coming back the wrong way or whatever, and he's been looking into it. Because everyone else had been there before. What's so special about this group? Because you're right, it did seem like they were brought there by just talk
like they
about
wanted,
stuff.
Yeah, I
right?
can't
Like they
remember, how
wanted
did
to
he find
experience
out
it for the
about
first
this,
time.
right? There was a cult going on or something, right? Like, no,
Yes,
what a cult? There
he
was.
got a
He
message
got a
from some
message.
weirdo chickie, from this weirdo chickie about it,
Right.
because she knew he was looking into he was asking a lot of questions. And I believe she reached out to him knowing he was looking for this. And she says she is from the meteor. She was in the Borderlands from the meteor. She tells him that. And she goes, "I know somebody who could get you back into the Borderlands." So if his goal was Arisu the whole time, I think this is just another domino. Go to her, she tells
Hmm.
him, and it's like she's the first domino that fell in the chain of events to get Arisu back to the Borderlands.
Vic says, wasn't she in season 2 as a citizen? Okay, see, that makes even more sense if she was, as in, like we're saying, you've got to close the loophole or the tie that's bringing people here unexpectedly.
Dum dum
Oh, I don't know,
dum.
Vic. I'll have to look into that,
She's the
because
lady who
it's
spoke of
really
the
weird.
fireworks.
Yes, she did. It's really weird because when you go onto IMDb, the character, the actor listings are really weird, and I just don't know if, that's with like pretty much all Korean based shows. So I have to like do a little more research and find out who she actually is and see if she was in the first two. I don't recognize her, but you could be right.
You can look at this two ways then, because if she's a citizen, all right, so the guy who is now what we're calling Joker, either A, that world enjoyed him so much and gave him that power, or B, he took the power. And if he took the power, then he created, he's a serial killer, right?
Yes.
What if then, it's another theory, then what if he's actually found a way, if he's able to merge himself into this world to a degree, what about other citizens? And if so, why, it could be just to get everybody back in the, like, he just wants to kill people. And what better than champion of champions? And I don't know, it's just weird if that is, because I didn't even think about that, because if that's a citizen that's back in the real world too, then he's even more dangerous of a villain than he is just a Joker card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I didn't even, that changes even my thinking on some stuff. So, but yes, she did mention that she remembered the fireworks. She remembered stuff.
And
So
maybe he got
I
bored, because if he created this cult in the real world to bring people to the Borderlands, and he's like, all right, none of these people are doing well, they kind of suck at the games, I'm bored, let's have a tournament of tournaments.
And I think that's where his obsession with Arasu started. Like, I want the one who defeated the games. Like, I want to get
Right.
him back because I'm bored.
So it depends. I'm excited. Going. I'll have to see as we go forward, but those would be. Yeah, it's good to me. It's one of the two. Either A, the world gave him that power, and it's upset that this guy's like causing too much attention, or this guy's really psycho and he took over and he's actively grabbing people. Like it's not accident or fate. He's actively doing it.
Oh, Vic, you think she was the weirdo in the truck who, when they went to go find somebody who remembered the fireworks, she was? I don't think so, because the one in the truck was a little more like loopy in a sense, because she was said she's like, I have a brain thingy, and they like she had a metal plate in her head and she had like brain stuff going on. This chick seems somewhat normal, like in the sense of she doesn't seem like somebody who had brain surgery or is acting like somebody who had that kind of physical like mentality that the person in the truck who remembered the fireworks had. But again, I will look into that. I will do some research. I will challenge accepted. I will do some digging. I will do some digging, definitely. But now overall, just seeing these two episodes, how would you rate just like the start of the season?
It was good. I'm at least I was 7.58.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. What about you, James?
Well, Dana, I guess I'll be sitting on at least a solid 7 as of right now.
Okay. Definitely. I know after the first two episodes for me, just because you guys know I'm a fan of Asian Sin. I'm not gonna lie, I was at an 8. I enjoyed the first two episodes. And I think it was more so seeing that first game, because you know
Mm-hmm.
how I'm a stickler for if you can bring to life like source material, I you always get extra points to me from me for that, because I love when you get to actually see source material really like brought to life. And just having it change from the original game to this, I actually think was better TV wise, because in the manga, it's him and the two friends that play this game. So you don't have any introduction to new characters yet. It's literally just the first game they walk into when they enter into the Borderlands. So it was just the three of them playing it. I like that we got introduced to like all these new kind of characters, and I liked how they teamed up. I because again, we always talk about you don't get when you don't character build, you can't like feel bad for people. Like, I'm starting to invest in these guys. Like, I'm gonna feel bad if some of these guys start to die in the games. And I like that they were kind of putting a shine on this group of people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting invested in some of these characters now that they've become a group. It's not just Arasu's story anymore. Yes, he's looking for Usagi, but now we have these other characters kind of brought in, and you're starting to get invested. Like, even when we got to the zombie game, sitting there watching, like, I, you know, and the blue hair chick, like, I couldn't wait to see more about her. Like, I started to get invested into some of these characters, and I enjoyed that. Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like even in The Walking Dead, how many characters did we not even get a chance to have that from because they were killed off?
Mm-hmm.
So I like that we're building some backstory on some of these other characters. So I was at an 8.
Nice. Nice. 8's good.
No, I'm glad you guys kind of enjoyed it. It gets crazier. It gets crazier, and it's nonstop from here. Like, they definitely pack in everything they could in these 6 episodes. There's no downtime. Like, it stays at this kind of, level of of fuckery and games.
Huh.
Vic's at a 6.5. Yeah, I know. I heard all her gripes and I got them. I got them. Like even when Vic was saying to me she didn't like how Usagi was such this strong character in season 1, even I think she said it in the chat. Like she didn't seem that distraught about her father's death. Like seems like it's more of a hiccup or hang up for her now than it was in the first 2 seasons. So why now compared to before? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that like her father's death's affecting her more now than in the first 2 seasons?
And she seems to
Yeah,
be dreaming about it
yeah,
more. Like,
yeah. It's definitely affecting her more.
and again, with this Joker card out there, we don't know if maybe he somehow was able to put the images in. Like, as far as this Joker card goes, I don't know how far they're going with the powers of the Joker card. It's possible, like, again, if he wants to get Arisu back, he needs to get the wife. How do you get the wife? Well, let's start throwing dead daddy in her head. I mean,
Yeah.
deleted daddy.
Yeah, or something. She started remembering too when she walked in the hotel and stuff. So, it could be some kind of trauma, subconscious trauma from her near-death experience or something. Even.
So you
True.
think because of what she went through from the meteor that everything that happened with her dad is kind of more intensified now?
Possibly,
Yeah.
or it could be like Scarlet said, some magic from the Joker guy because we don't know how all that works.
I'd
Like,
believe either way. Like, just from the information they've given us, I could see both of those.
Or Vic, she could have also, we might not have seen it in the first 2 seasons because of what they were going through. She might not have had time in that situation to kind of deal with it then. And now, like Scarlett and James say, now that she's out and it's more intensified, she's been through more trauma. So it's just overlaid trauma. So she went through the meteorite. She never really got closure with her father. She's having these weird fucking dreams about him killing himself, that maybe it's just become overwhelming for her. But again, I didn't think this guy just like wheels up to you, tells you, I'd like to do a further study on you. You talk to him once and you're willing to let him put a drug in your system to like stop your heart and get you. I just felt like that was so
Well, she
quick.
knew who he was. She met him before.
She met him for the first time when Arisu came out with him from the study. Then
Right.
after that, she sat down with him the one time where we saw on the memory card. So she didn't know him for very, very long, only like a
No, but
day
it
or
wasn't
two
like a complete
passed.
stranger though, like walking up to you. You knew
I
that
just
he
thought it
was
was
with
so
this
weird.
study. You knew you knew he was a doctor. You knew he was part of the study. That they were asking you questions about the incident and stuff like that. And I think I can't remember what all Arisu told her about him when they introduced or whatever. But it wasn't as if it was just some random dude like, hey, like some psycho off the street that you didn't know.
True.
right.
I don't know. I
But
just felt like it was such a quick decision.
well, I haven't, as far as I know, I haven't got that far yet. Like it didn't show their interactions yet. So if that is what happens, he tells her, hey, I can take you there, and injects her with something. To me, that's a stretch in itself. I know she's yearning for her dad, and that's the place she wants to be, even though she's married to Arisu and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know. That just seems quick,
Right?
I guess.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it just seems like you're trusting him awful quick, especially when it comes to letting him inject you with something. Like, I felt like it just happened really, really quick. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you got to be in it to really understand it. But I don't know if I'd just be like, okay, I've met you for all but a day now, sat down with you for one session. Go ahead, put me under. Like, I don't know if I'd be so quick to jump on that.
Oh
Yeah, but if you got a guy coming telling you, I know about the games, and she's remembering them, and like, how do you know this? You might, I don't know. And she's already kind of in a weird state at that point. Like when he gets to her at that hotel, and she's kind of freaking out because she's looking around, she's like, whoa, shit, I'm remembering this stuff. Again, we don't know what all. we don't know the full context of the conversation. I don't know if he just straight told her, "Hey, let me inject you with this," or if he was like, "Hey, look, let me show you some things.
Right.
Let me, you know." So I can't speak to how her gullibility is because I don't know what that conversation.
Thank
I don't
you,
know what he
gullible.
showed her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You are on point tonight, Scarlet. You were
She's
just
got the words.
you got the words tonight that I just can't find.
Hey, I just wanted to say this is something that I've never like the afterlife talk and theory and stuff, you know, I can do that, but I'm count me out as far as one that's so interested in it that, hey, yeah, stop my heart for like a minute and then bring me back. Let's see what happens. Hell to the no. I ain't gonna volunteer for that shit. I like my heart beating just the way it's going. I don't need to
But
know that
if
bad.
there was a promise to you of something like what Usagi
No,
was going through,
no,
you
I
don't
don't
think
see
that you'd
myself.
be like steadfast, like,
No,
nope, I'm good.
no, yeah,
I'm just 50-50. Like, I'm like, I could see you wanting to do that, but it just seems so quick. And I get it. We got to progress the story. It is just a story. We might be looking too much into it. And,
yeah,
we only have 6 episodes. You can't take 10 months to finally come to the conclusion. Let me see case studies and examples
right,
and,
right,
figure it out. So I'm taking all that into consideration. I'm just like, I don't know if I like this version or if I'm just also so stuck on the manga because the way it happens in the manga just flowed so seamlessly. Like his wanting to save her was because it wasn't because she went back there by choice. It was because she got stuck there again.
right.
And
Yeah, that seemed like what I thought would happen in this, but it doesn't seem like that's exactly
Also, if
what
I'm
it
thinking
is.
that our other little girl with the drugs was there with the two of them, and she remembers her from the games, that's a further connection to the world. Like if she administered the drugs to the doctor and to the wife, and then went to Arisu, like she's to be the connection between the two groups. But she's also like she kind of was the reason she talked Arisu into doing it. She could have talked the wife into it as well.
Yeah,
oh, like been the familiar face that it wasn't him who
Right.
enticed her. And
yeah, interesting.
interesting.
It's so much like the Matrix, how if you die in the Borderland, you die in the real world, and um, the Joker or the near-death experience is like the phone call in the Matrix that you make to go in and out and stuff like that, and it has a lot of similarities. But it was good. Can't wait to see the rest. I just have to make some time for it.
Yes. I mean, it's a lot to unpack, but I enjoyed these first 2 episodes. So, I'm glad you guys and it's like I see where Vic's coming from. Like on a lot of her gripes, there's some more stuff that comes up down the line. And but yeah, just I'm 50 like I feel like it was so quick. I just can't my mind can't wrap around that. And again, I don't know if it was just because I enjoyed how they did it in the manga and this just didn't give me that same kind of like I get why Arasu is going back.
Right.
Like yeah, it's the same reason, but it's like it's different. It's just it's definitely a different take.
Right, right. And you could kind of see how it has to be quick because it's all that oh, her heart just stopped. Okay, give me the drug, and it's just like, okay, all this is happening pretty sudden, even to the characters in the story.
Right. So yeah, but it's like I think it was a mixture, Vic. I think it was her maybe something with her father, but also the fact that she was starting to remember. So I think it was a culmination of the two things that kind of enticed her to go back. It wasn't more so her dad, and it wasn't more so remembering and want to go back. I think it was kind of like like both of them together. Like you were in this place before, maybe she didn't realize the first time she was there, she could have, and the kid enticed her by because your dad's there. You didn't know that the last time.
Maybe she figured out she was much sexier and cooler back then. Back there in the
And
Borderland.
we have to factor in the fact that she's pregnant.
Oh, snap. That's right.
Right. And she may not even know, right? Like,
Yeah, the
you know, they
doctor
said
said.
that she was
The
so
doctor said,
early that
yeah. So as of this point, only Arisu knows. So I get it, like why he like his motivation, but it was just what brought her into the Borderlands was so different that I don't know which one I like more yet. I'm still on the fence about the TV's version. And once more is revealed, and like I reveal a little bit more to you guys about like the manga, I'm curious to see what you guys are going to think.
right. And I'm curious because, and I don't know if we've ever dealt with in the first 2 seasons, bringing up the pregnancy. We know everyone who enters the Borderlands has to have a stopped heartbeat. For baby to have, well, it's 2 weeks, so or it was a few weeks, right? So I guess it wouldn't have much of a heartbeat. So then, never mind. I
Yeah,
just answered my question.
I think it was so early that the baby did not have a heartbeat yet, because I believe the
Okay.
doctor said that.
Because I'm curious if a woman was pregnant and she was far enough along to where the baby had a heartbeat, how would the Borderlands work that out?
See, you're thinking too much into it.
But
Well, like
isn't
the
that our
baby
whole
may not be
problem?
there, right? The baby would still be in soul consciousness and all, wouldn't be there. But that I mean, I would assume the baby wouldn't transfer
Right. You
if
would
it had
think.
a heart.
You
Like
would think.
if it was developed far enough along that it actually had the heartbeat.
But would the woman still look pregnant in the Borderland?
I don't know. That's curious. That's why I was being. That's why I was thinking. I was being very curious when y'all brought it. We were talking about the pregnancy, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's something. Because I don't remember if they dealt with that in the first 2.
I don't
No, we
remember
didn't
that
see.
at all.
We saw a couple of kids.
Right, but we didn't see
But
anyone that
we
was
see
pregnant.
pregnant or babies or anything like that. But we did have when they got to the tag game in season 2, there was that little boy.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. He had a heartbeat, and he was
Yes.
transferred because of the accident. I'm
Yes.
curious though if how a soul consciousness, however we want to say it, is technically not born, but it's alive. You know, baby's alive. It's growing in you. It's got a heartbeat. All that kind of stuff. It's got its own consciousness to, you know, it's got its own brain development, all those kinds of things. Religious, it's got a soul, all that, right? So I'm just curious how the Borderlands actually works that. Does it
You'd
not
think
bring
like
in
in
the
real
mother?
life.
Or
You'd
would
think
it
in real life the mother can die and they can save the kid even if they have to
exactly?
remove the kid, you know, physically because of whatever accident. So I figured that's the way it works. The kid is still alive in the real world, and if the mom dies, they have the opportunity to, can we take it or not, save the kid. And
But does it transfer though? That's the thing.
No.
Like, would it transfer into Borderlands?
No, I don't think so.
I
That's
wouldn't
just a
think.
theory.
That's why I was asking, because I was like, wait, the baby's how many weeks are we in? To this pregnancy, like,
yeah, I
is
think
the
that's
baby
maybe why
transferred?
they had that doctor say that line.
Okay, 'cause that's why I was curious.
We haven't even detected a heartbeat, so I don't think the mother may not know that she's pregnant.
Which is even more strange, though, right? Because it doesn't have a heartbeat, but that baby is still developing within her as she's in her, you know, whatever coma state that she's in. We know that they're not going to be there long enough, but if she stayed there, it's just a weird thing because of the fact that they're bringing the child into it and the way the Borderlands work.
I think they brought the child.
Haven't there been cases where there's been women in comas and they've carried babies?
Yeah.
To like term.
Yeah, so it's a different thing. It's a separate thing, I think. And since she only is really in the Borderland, she could be there for years, but really it's just under 2 minutes in the real world.
Right.
Still. So the fetus isn't going to develop any in 2 minutes. And I would say it's 2 separate consciousness, just like in the real world.
Right.
Unless the baby's heart stops for a second or 2 or a minute and then somehow comes back.
I was just curious because I was like, man, how would they deal with the actual pregnancy in the Borderlands? I mean, hers is like we said, the heart's not developed or it's not beating yet. But man, that'd be
I
messed up.
I can't read Vic's emojis. Are we
What?
frustrated? Are we? Oh, her saying her lips are sealed.
Yeah.
What's the
But
other
what's
one? Is
that
that
one?
the?
I don't know that one.
Oh, either
Is she all Chinese eyed? Can you say that? Did I just say something you shouldn't say?
James.
Yeah, Jane.
Mouth closed. Gotcha. Yes. I'm doing the same, but it's like I'm just telling like I'm talking to them because I watched the first two episodes and then had to wait sometime because then Miguel got mad at me and I had to wait for him to come to finish watching it. So like I remember my train of thinking after the first two episodes because I stopped at that point myself.
Interesting.
No. So I didn't realize it looked like that. Well, I can't always read emojis. If you give me like a line with like 20 emojis and say decipher, yeah, I forget it. I don't know how these kids talk in emojis. Like it's like another language. It's like another language.
If you take the Borderland world though and just didn't think about it too deeply and just expanded on the lore or the universe of it, you could have
Mhm.
it like if you died in Borderland, yes, you died in the real world, but you didn't die like just go away. You go down a level or like you go somewhere else even. Like it's a never ending, maybe even uh consciousness thing.
Oh, like different levels for eternity. You just keep going and
Yeah,
going and going.
maybe. But
When
you could
you
never
die
get
in the real
back.
world, you go to the yeah, it's like an endless loop almost
Yeah, maybe you
of
could never
just
get back to Earth or real world Earth.
mhm. Yeah, but it's just like, but what's also like interesting to me when it comes to the Borderlands, okay, so if you win one of the games, you you can survive. But I'm like, okay, if the people, let's say your body dies in the real world, like how does it line up with you just happen to lose a game? Or is it not until you lose the game that your body then gives up? You
Yeah.
know, like is that making any sense? Like
Yeah, it
how
seems
does
like
it
the second part you said. Like if
how
they
does it
die in the
correlate?
game, they died in real life. Like if they were on like a monitor at the hospital and it's going the little beeping, it just flatlined when they get killed in the game. That's the way I kind of looked at it. Cuz it's just under a 2-minute thing, if that's the trigger.
We
And
always do that though, Vic. She said stick too much into it. I think that's our problem. And the more we review stuff, I think that just comes with the territory. Because now we sit here to pick at things, so we could talk about them. So I think no matter what show we watch, we're gonna always look too much into
yeah,
it, no matter
probably.
what it is.
Because I took it,
Like,
let's say at the asteroid impact, somebody gets hit on the head by a flying rock and they fall over and their heart
mhm.
stops and they're about to die. Like their heart is not going to come back. But within the minute or 2 minutes that someone maybe could have brought them back if the right medical people were there or something is when they're in the borderland. But they're going to die regardless, like in this situation. Like medical help didn't arrive to them in time. So they're one of the players in the game that died, maybe in this shared consciousness. So the way I take it, that's just my theory, that all the players in the game, like say in the first couple seasons, weren't just people that were being medically treated and could maybe make it or maybe not make it. It was everybody there that wasn't maybe obliterated in the first second. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Vic says, or do they have to go through a game? Because I had this thought too. Yeah, like we know for a fact games took place at different times because we some of the residents said that they won their games. And there is a brief moment in, I don't know if it's season 1 or 2, that Arisu sees the way things are kind of, I don't know. He says like time's working differently in different areas. Like 1 second you'll go from a place that looks like it just came, like it was just how we saw it. The next minute we'll walk deeper and the forest is overgrown.
Yeah.
There's different levels of food that's like decaying. Some stuff is still good. Some stuff looks like it's been rotting for a month. So
Right.
like you say, James, this is where you start to get complicated. Like, okay, now we're really good for that's not physically how would that work? And so I don't know how it correlates, because if they win the games and that means at the same time then all those people come back to life. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, what if it was somebody who was in a like I that's what I'm trying, like can the game winners be dispersed to different times? Like
Right.
like when they all enter the Borderlands, is that place the same time, but one could enter from 1991 to now, or is like that's also something that had my brain kind of
Yeah. Yeah, it gets deep when you try to think about it. Like if Borderlands
right
been
now.
around
That is
forever.
me looking, that is me looking too deep into it, too far into it. Like just sit down, shut up and watch the show. Like stop questioning how the fucking time works.
And
Oh no.
yeah, it's weird because, you know, especially if you try to correlate it with the real world as far as, okay, it's just been, you know, if it's under 2 minutes or whatever the rule is, but people can stay months for months in there, right? Let's say the people that were the face card people, the band leader and the girl in the black dress, maybe they were in the asteroid thing as well, but they just, their heart stopped 15 seconds or so before Arasu's. But in Borderland, they've been there almost a year or something like that already. So when you really start thinking about it, it gets pretty crazy, especially when you start putting in the city, like, okay, now it's more deteriorated part of the city, or it's overgrown part of the city. The girl in the black dress, the Queen of Hearts, even mentioned that in her, when she was giving those false descriptions of, what do you think it is? You know, is it an AI playing tricks on you, or is it this, or is it this? Why is the city overgrown? You know?
Mhm. So it's like, yeah, we could definitely sit here and friggin' totally overthink all this stuff, without a doubt.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if the author, like the person writing this, knows. Like, yeah, I know the whole deep thing, but I can't throw that shit on you. It's just too much. So I'm giving you this little piece of the story, you know, or something like that. Or they don't know. They're just kind of winging it.
I don't know, because I could tell you as far as the manga is concerned, no, they don't talk about it.
Right.
It's not brought up in the manga. That's for sure.
You got to have your shit together if you're an author that does that, though. To me, I respect those people like Tolkien and even the Game of Thrones guy, because he don't F around. He's like, I'm not going to leave anything in the dark. You want to know? Here's the complete history. You know,
Yep,
here's
that is.
maps. Here's
Yep.
maps. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And even myself, when like creating my world, I tried to have that kind of mentality. Like I have a timeline going all the way back from when my world first came out of, let's say, its Big Bang sort of
Hmm.
thing.
Wow.
Like I can tell you how like the magic actually works in my world. Like
Nice.
how they would time stop, or how they would, because that's how my brain was working. Because I'm like, we talk about so much and dissect so much stuff. Like even before like getting into YouTube and stuff and just talking to other people, like I respected that out of like the Tolkiens, out of the, the Game of Thrones guy and a couple of other people that Miguel reads. Like the Wheel of Time is another world that's very much like that, that you
Hmm.
could go back into his history. There's whole worlds like from how stuff started to like I wanted to be able to answer those questions. If somebody were to ask me something, I didn't want there to be like, how did that work? Because you can only chalk so much things up to magic or, without giving an answer before people are just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
Right.
even if you say just go with it. So I really tried hard in my world to make it to where I can at least answer people if they had questions about certain things, like
That's
how
cool.
magic works in my world, like where they would get things and stuff from the development of the world itself.
Nice. And that's kind of like the story of Foundation. I know Vic watches Foundation. Isaac Asimov, he really thought out the details in most of it. And for over a span of thousands of years of the galaxy. So it's, not just Earth based. This is galaxy, many worlds. So it's
Mhm.
pretty crazy when people do that. So I give a lot of respect to authors that flesh out their world, because that's a lot of work,
Mhm.
not just a lot of work, but it's a big task to keep consistent.
Yes, it is. Hence why my world literally sits in about 5 different binders of just like information. Like I have binders on top of binders on top of binders about like, because I break down the races, I break down, the histories, the where everything came from, why they're not a scientifical, is that even a word? Did I just make up a word? They're not like a science-based society. They are a
Right,
magic-based society. So they don't have space travel. They would use things via portals compared to, they get into a spaceship and fly somewhere. But there
right.
are beings in my world that came to the world from a planet like that and became gods within the world because how their bodies melded with what is considered magic in my world,
Mhm.
like they bonded with it, so they were able to have magical capabilities compared to a scientific based kind of
Nice.
way. But again, it's still all kind of one and the same.
You should
Like
you should write a book
I did write a book.
or make a book on it.
I do have a book. I have not I didn't publish it.
Oh,
And that's
Dis-
but that is the whole
Discord.
goal of
Discord.
D&D. I do. I actually I'm going to, I have to stop over editing myself. That's also my biggest problem. Like I keep going back and like over so like I have to take a step back and just kind of put chapters out there.
Uh-huh.
But because I see I read it and I'm like, okay, now I got to go back and make sure all that connects. Make sure all that connects, like it all makes sense. So, but I have to just stop and put. But that's why the whole D&D thing came to be, was because he was like Miguel was like, just write a D&D story, put it in D&D, and maybe that'll be an easier story to tell compared to the novels you're trying to write.
Right.
I do have one completed novel.
Nice. Yeah, I've wrote a few things and I've learned that I can't self-edit. Like I need somebody else to do it, 100%. And thank goodness I have a sister that's a literature English teacher. So she's done a couple of things for me. And a fresh pair of eyes can really pick out some stuff.
Yes, definitely. No, I've been thinking about putting my first couple of chapters up in the Discord, so it's definitely a thought. And I have to. And it's also I got to rip off the Band-Aid. It's like I know I could take the criticism, but it's so much my baby that I might not accept the criticism.
That's hard. That is a hard thing to do,
You can
especially
criticize it, but I don't have to accept it,
right, right.
people. I don't have
Yeah,
to accept it.
because on one side, okay, those sentences need to be rearranged for it to flow better or something. That's one thing. But when you say this character's stupid, or when you really start getting into something that you've been hanging on to for years yourself, and you're like, oh, I love this character, and you really think differently than the people think reading it. Yeah, that's
And yeah,
big.
but the game we're actually going to be playing in D&D is following the story of my first book. So you will be joining with the characters from my book. You'll be following like that story from my book on top of the story that has to do with like Scarlet's character and like some of the other D&D characters that I'm working into the story. So you'll have the D&D kind of version of it, and then you'll have my book version of it. So
Nice, nice.
I'm trying to meld the two worlds together
You
so
know,
that if other
Scarlet.
people do want to play the campaign, I can also have the
Oh
two
yeah,
worlds out there for
exactly,
them to play.
exactly. Yes, and you know, Scarlet has the coolest damn character, man. It's a shame that she's going to probably not make it.
It's okay. I got my dragon. I'm
Right?
not worried. I'll have my
You have
dragon.
no idea. All the boys
Hey,
are
what do you
jealous
know?
that
You
I
don't
gave
even know.
Scarlet a
You may
second
turn me to your side. That's still a possibility. See, he's already done thrown me to like he doesn't even
right?
probably
You
know
know,
Not even
me.
considering it.
I mean, it's happened to most of the ladies, but you seemed a little more strong-willed, so we'll see.
You don't know. He hadn't even gotten the game yet.
Right? Scarlet likes to touch shiny things, so just throw a shiny thing in front of her, and you never know. You might get her on your side sooner rather than later. She loves to just touch shiny things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use that to entice her. Scarlet, big shiny thing over in the corner, arrows pointing. You know,
No, my character does play a little thief. Not
touching.
like a bit. I'm not like a hardened criminal or nothing. I'm not gonna be like going around and trying to like shank people for their stuff or nothing. But cleverly, we may be finding ways. We are of the Fae, okay, to a degree.
Yeah,
So
she
it's
comes from a pixie family, and pixies love to just take their
we love
little
shiny
trinkets.
things, and I just kind of that part of that. It's like makes you feel like you're back at home.
You want to be a unicorn, Vic? I'll make you a unicorn. There is actually a god within the D&D world who takes a unicorn form. So and one of our players actually bows to her. So if you'd like to play a unicorn, you might actually be able to play one.
Nice.
Yes. So it's going to be fun once we get all the we're working on our awesome artist is just getting done with the animals right now. So as soon as he's done with the animals, we're going to be bringing Abraxas to life. We are going to give him life.
Dum dum
He'll be
dum.
officially, yes, he will be officially out there in the ether.
Officially out there in his cage.
Right, just using your astral form to just wreak havoc on the world.
Nice. You know,
Right?
just a normal
You're
day.
messing with your astral form there, James. Imagine if you actually got let loose on the world. They're crying about you now, and you're only at like half your power.
Hmm.
Well, that's because
Right?
you took like half of our power away.
What's
Hey,
up,
Jim.
Yuri?
Okay.
Yuri in the comments. How
Oh,
did
hi.
you enjoy? Said she saw half of it, or they saw half of it. Sorry, don't want to make
Yes.
a
What did you
presumption.
think of the first two episodes?
Yeah, what'd you think? Let us know. Let us know.
Definitely. But I'm excited. So we'll most likely do the next two episodes this upcoming Saturday, and then we'll wrap it up the week after that. And then I'd like to do like I want to rank the games throughout the seasons, do like another tier list and see what we thought was like I don't know how do you think we should rank it? Should we rank it by the games we found most interesting or solvable? Or how do you think we should rank the tier list when it comes to the games? What do you guys think?
I don't know, difficulty or maybe I mean all of them had a huge death count, so I was, we could go by death count or sadness again.
No, not to see. I mean, I don't even know what all the games are really going to be like. It could just be like which one was your favorite, which one was your like most exciting game, or something. I don't know.
Are we doing it just for season 3 or the whole thing?
For the whole thing, we're gonna rank all the games.
Oh God, I'm going to have to go back and remember them all then.
Yeah, we'll have to put a list together for everybody.
Right, I will, and I will do the clippies again. I
Oh,
will do my
clippies.
best to do
I like
these
clippies.
clippies, and we will. Oh, Yuri is a 7 out of 10 so far. I think I was the highest out of everybody just because I loved the first game we saw because they pulled it from the manga. And I'm such a fan of the manga that it got me really excited and happy. And I think I bonused the shit out of it because it was just great to see it. But James, you were at a
7.
Scarlet was at as like a 7.5,
It
possibly
was
8,
7.5 to 8.
right? So and Vic is at a 6.5. But I think by the time we're done talking about it and like there is some stuff that they told us in this season, but I might have to clarify a little more about some of the stuff that was revealed because I could see how it was getting confused because they were questions that Miguel asked me. Like, okay, and I know we kind of saw it and he didn't understand that that's kind of like what they were referencing. So, and then once I told him, because he wasn't a fan of this season. But I've slowly been like, because he's been asking me tons of questions about stuff. And I'm like, slowly kind of, once I kind of like give him the answer, he's like, okay, I didn't see it that way. I didn't notice that. I didn't get that at the time I watched it. So maybe, Vic, the more we talk about it, the more you guys will kind of see. But no, thank you guys so much. We're going to get ready, I guess, to wrap it up. But before we do, I know we have some tangs going on tomorrow with all of us. And please join the Discords because that is where we're putting up like all of our schedules, what we're doing, when our lives are. We're really trying to make the Discords kind of like a collective community of all like us content creators and other people that we're going to be working with that we're going to be bringing into the Discords. So please make sure you join all of our Discords so that you could be up to date on everything we got going on. Because we have like overlapping stuff, but we also like Scarlet is the gamer side of it. I'm the Asian side of it. James does a lot of the stuff with like zombies and horror. So we all kind of touch a different realm of the entertainment world. So depending on what your interests are, we definitely do stuff for everybody. And I know you've been just kicking ass at BioShock and Fortnite, and you're a hell of a lady in them games.
About to do some Fallout.
Yep. Soon we're almost done with BioShock. We get through that and we'll be ready for some Fallout.
She makes the boys cry. Don't let her fool you. She makes all the boys cry when they lose.
I don't know, the other night, if you watched the other night, it didn't quite go down that way.
It was lag. No.
No, it
You got
wasn't lag. No,
lag.
it was just, it was spicy that night. Everybody was having a spicy night. It was some hard
But no,
gameplay that night.
I've seen it. You've made all these boys friggin' cry at these video games. They don't like playing with you.
I'm sure they do.
But
They love
but
playing with
no,
me.
meaning in the sense of that, yeah, they know that you ain't easy win. They're gonna have to work for it,
Sometimes.
right? But you're gonna be playing some BioShock tomorrow night?
Yeah, we should be. I think we're to the part where we're going to start learning more about Songbird and maybe even get to control him a little bit.
Ooh.
That was the big flying bird that we saw with the red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he looked cool.
Oh yeah, he's a little piece of shit right now, but you find the right melody and he may be your friend.
Interesting.
Nice. And then I know we're gonna be talking about some Stranger Things, some Fallout. Then
Oh
we got
yeah.
I know you said eventually you're gonna start bringing in some From stuff
Mm-hmm.
that we're gonna start talking about. And I said Fallout. Why do I feel like we're always missing shows?
Think that's all for right now, at least to get through the rest of the year that I can think of.
Okay, and I know we always have Friday Night Fever where Scarlett loves to go over trailers. So if you have any trailers like movies, games, anything like that, you want Scarlett to kind of go over, put all that in her Discord. She has tons of channels where we're always looking for interesting trailers. We love to dissect some trailers. So if there's any new movies or TV shows or anything, just drop the trailer and you never know, we might break it down on Friday Night Fever. And we have some member only streams. So make sure you become a member of Scarlet's channel because we get to have some extra fun on the Fever After Dark where we don't have to, you know, be so proper. We get to be a little spicier, have some fun. We get to let our hair down. We get to just let our hair down. But everybody's links are in the description of the video. So just make sure to hit all them buttons. And then tomorrow night, James, we're going to be talking about some Daryl Dixon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have not
Episode
watched
4.
this episode yet. I will be watching it probably tomorrow morning. But I'm hearing people saying that they liked it.
It's picking up as far as the action a little bit.
Still not. I was hoping it was going to be like, oh yeah, it was kind of good. You're still kind of, yeah, we're getting there. We're almost there, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll wait till you see it, and then you can let me know.
I will definitely
A
let
little
you
more,
know.
little more action anyway.
I hope we get the zombie balls of fire.
Balls of fire.
Fire
Great
balls
balls of fire.
No matter what way you say that, none of it sounds right. We just have flying balls of fire zombies.
Yep.
And it still doesn't sound right. So I don't know. I don't think there's any kosher way to say that. But no, thank you guys so much for hanging out and talking about the first 2 episodes. And I can't wait to dive into the next 2 episodes with you guys. And thanks. This was a lot of fun. I enjoy watching these shows with you guys.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Right? We have fun. We have
Yep.
fun. But until next time, guys, thank you so much. Stay safe and, just love each other, people. It's a crazy world. So talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Through the wire winds, the shadows are calling. Frost on my breath as the night ignites. Ice in my veins, but my fire is burning. I ride the storm under silver lights. Witches brew, the night won't break us. Snow can't hide the path we take. Hear the howl, the storm can shake us, but we stand strong. We will not quake. Frozen skies and the moonlight's whisper. Magic flows through the winter air. Every step leaves a mark in the blizzard. Every spell sparks a brilliant flare. Witches brew, the night won't break us. Snow can't hide the path we take. Hear the howl, the storm can shake us, but we stand strong. We will not quake. Ice and ember, we'll remember. Cold forever, stand as one. We fall as never.